The millennials and Gen Zers who are complaining that they can't buy a house are not working for minimum wage. These are people making $60, $70, $80, $90,000 a year who can no longer afford a house. But minimum wage workers are also complaining because they can't afford rent. If you look back to 1980, the rent was $243. Minimum wage was $3.10, meaning your monthly gross was $496. So to rent this apartment, it would be 48.9% of your gross income back in 1980. But let's fast forward to 2024. The average rent is $17.47. The federal minimum wage is $7.25, giving you $11.60. You can't even get an apartment with the federal minimum wage. But let's be generous and double the federal minimum wage, because people at Walmart and fast food joints are making $14.50 to $15. So $14.50 would bring you to $23.20. So technically you're making more, but this is your gross, and it'd be 75% of your gross income, making double the federal minimum wage in 2024. But let's take it even a step further. ZipRecruiter said that the starting pay for college graduates is $24 an hour. So that would be $38.40 a month. So someone with a bachelor's degree could afford this one-bedroom apartment, but it would be 45.4% of their gross income.
Why is someone with a bachelor's degree paying the same amount of someone back in 1980 who was a regular 9 to 5 Joe? Why is someone with a lot of skill sets and experience in a certain particular field making the same amount as the milkman back in 1980? As the person that bags groceries, why is that equivalent to someone with a bachelor's degree? It doesn't make any sense. Why is someone making double the amount of minimum wage paying 75% of their gross income to afford rent? Not even a home, just to afford rent. 75%, bro. You're broke after that. You still got to pay car insurance. You still got to pay your car note. You still have to pay for your cell phone. You still have to pay other bills, your credit card, debt, whatever the case may be. And they wonder why people, Gen Z's, living at home. They wonder why you got to move into, a house or an apartment with 3, 4 other people in the crib to combine income, because one person alone can't survive off of just one income by themselves. Nowadays, you need two sources of income. Whether you got 2 jobs, or you got a significant other, or another person in the crib, or you can stay with your family, combine your income. The American dream is dead. It's dying. Stomped on. That shit's in the ground 10 feet under, bro. What are we doing?
A college graduate is spending the same amount of their income on rent as the minimum wage worker in 1980 did. Roughly the same. And the minimum wage worker in 1980 put on a hat, learned skills for 2 weeks, and started their job. A bachelor's degree spent 4, 5, 6 years of their life in school and $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and now have to spend the same amount of money on rent as a minimum wage worker did in 1980.
Bro, imagine you go into college, bro, for 4 years, rack up student loan debts of $60,000, and you come out only making $24 an hour, making the same amount as the fucking newspaper boy. Went to school, wasted all your time, racked up student loans that you probably can't even pay off, right? Now you're in debt. Now you really can't get a house now, right? Now you gotta live with your family, stuck at home with your parents. Everyone's saying, "Oh my God, you're a loser. You're not doing enough." And I genuinely believe those people that think, Gen Z is lazy, I think they're like really out of touch with reality. Because every single time I bring up these facts, I've been, preaching about this for a while now. I bring up all these statistics for you guys, showing you the difference adjusted for inflation. I put up a chart, everything. But every single time you show these boomers, right, facts, they just don't want to believe it. They don't. They close their ears. La 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 la. They close their ears. They don't want to hear it. They have like a mental breakdown. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's tough out here. Going to school for 4 years, you rack up student loans, and then you're in debt, and you believe into this, American dream thing, stuck in a rat race with everyone else. It's tough out here.
Well, Gen Z is pissed at us boomers, and I can't say that I blame them. There was an article that came out the other day that said you would have to have 5 minimum wage jobs to live in Austin, Texas, to afford the rent there. It's ridiculous. So those of you who say, well, back in 1980, I made $15 an hour and I bought a house. Well, guess what? Adjusted for inflation, your $15 an hour that you made in 1980 would now be over $112,000 a year. You know, most young people I meet, they want to work. A lot of people say, oh, the new generation doesn't want to work and they're lazy. No, that's not true. They're smart. They're smarter than us. They just don't want your crappy $15 an hour job. Now, I'm not here to give any answers, but I'm just saying, I feel you, Gen Z. On the other hand, that one young kid who told me yesterday and commented that I shouldn't be on TikTok, get off my lawn, you little fuck.
Bro, that's my favorite boomer right there, man. Shout out Radio Flyer, bro. So all these boomer in the comments talking about, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, bro. Lock in. Get a better job. Move it to a different area. I don't want to hear all that shit, bro. This is coming from a boomer. He's telling you right now, adjusted for inflation, for $15 an hour is now equivalent to $112,000 a year adjusted for inflation. Most people coming out of college are $60K in debt, and they don't make anywhere close to $100K a year. Unless you're going for, like, you know, maybe being a lawyer or doctor, engineer, software engineer. Maybe. Most of those tech jobs are getting taken up now by AI. I mean, shit. Look at that one dude that lost his job to AI. It's coming for the tech company as well. All you guys doing, you know, software engineering, doing SQL, you know, all that shit. AI is coming for those jobs, bro. When the CEO wants to see the numbers or something, they're not going to come to the people working on SQL and all that, and they're just going to go on DeepSeek real quick. Hey, what were the numbers for this quarter? You're cooked. Your ass is cooked, right? But back to the topic, it doesn't make any sense to why boomers think people are lazy, you know, Gen Z doesn't want to work, da-da-da. Who the fuck wants to work in general? And who the fuck wants to work for $15 an hour? $15 an hour? What do I look like, a one-trick pony, my nigga? Like, you want me to start tap dancing and shit? $15 an hour? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? That shit on my face. I can't even afford a new car payment with $15 an hour. What makes you think I could live on my own with $15 an hour? 75% of your income gone on one rent payment. What are you left with? You can't even afford to put food on the table, bro. You need like 3 roommates or some shit. That you gotta work 2 jobs now. And even then, you're spending like 50% of your income when you get 2 jobs, right? Doesn't make any sense. So when people say, oh, how about you just move to a different area? You can't just move to a different area, bro. I'm gonna play this video real quick. See for yourself.
See, this is one of the most frustrating things about the housing crisis right now. Whenever you mention it, at least 1 or 2 people in the room are going to say one of 2 things. Either you're lazy and you're not working hard enough, or you don't want to live in an area where the housing is actually cheap enough for people to afford it. Now, you get a graphic like this where it's like, here's all the areas where houses are under $150,000. Look, no disrespect to anybody that live in these areas. That is perfectly fine. I'm sure there are plenty of houses that are under 200K that are between 2 cornfields and have no jobs near them. And not only that, I'm sure you can totally uproot your family from everyone you know, grandparents, aunt, uncles, if you have kids. Take them out of a good school district and move all the way out to some BFA place in the middle of nowhere where there's absolutely no jobs. And if there is a job, they're paying you like $6 an hour.
That's what I'm saying. Move to a different area, bro. Go somewhere else, maybe Ohio. Who the fuck wants to live in Ohio? What are you talking about right now, bro? You think I want to live in the middle of the fucking cornfields and shit? You think I'm trying to go back to the basics and fucking start farming and shit? The fuck? And even if you move in the middle of nowhere, bro, he is right. Look at that chart. Look at that chart. The amount of red spots on that chart, bro, it's I don't even think it's a quarter of the United States. It's shitty. And if you move there, there's no job opportunities, right? Not that great of an education. I promise you that. Not that great of an education, right? And you're not near family, and the pay is shit in those areas anyways. So let's say you do manage to get a good job, they're not paying you the big bucks. You're not balling out over there. You're probably still close living to paycheck to paycheck. The houses are just cheaper, that's it. So it's like, what are people talking about? I feel like people just like to hear themselves talk when it comes to, you know, cost of living, because they think they know everything and this, that, and the third. But when you present all these facts, these factual evidence, statistics, right? They don't want to hear it. They don't want to listen. They just want to close their ears. La 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 la. I can't hear you. Like a fucking 12-year-old throw a tantrum because they just don't want to accept it. And that was back in 2023. So imagine now 2025, because housing has gone up significantly. So with that being said, all that red is probably now even more minuscule. So yeah, why, you got to ask yourself, why would Gen Z even try, right? Why would they even try to go out their way to better themselves, financially? And I'm not saying, to be out here and not try your best, not try your best to get by or better yourself. But I understand why some people wouldn't go out their way to actually make a difference, because it's generally so hard to even try to make a difference. I've seen so many people online posting, luxury cars. Oh, I bought my house at 19, 18. I bought my house at 12 years old. Bro, all those people are outliers, bro. So don't even feel bad about that shit. Like, for real, most of those people are outliers. Either they got hand-me-downs from their family, either they started some sort of drop shipping business, maybe crypto. They got lucky. Who knows? But all of that shit is outliers, bro. Right? The majority of people can't even afford to live on their own. And even if they do, they're spending 75 to 50% of their income. And I'm pretty sure you're only supposed to be spending like 30, bro. 30%. And you can't just raise minimum wage or salaries, because then that's just going to cause inflation to go up even more. So you're kind of sort of in this position where you're cooked for real. And I don't know what we could do. I don't know. Trump is over here taxing everyone or sending out tariffs. What he said, tariffs are taxes on other countries. I don't know. I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. That's a whole nother topic, but everyone, I guess he's trying something, tariffs. I don't know, bro. Everything's just gonna go up. Prices are gonna go up even more at this amount. Look at what happened the other day. They're selling eggs for fucking, I think I seen they were selling eggs for $20, bro. Damn near $20. Like $15 a carton or some shit for a dozen. People were still buying it. That shit was flying off the shelves. And I think someone actually stole like $40,000 worth of eggs. And now they're on the run. They're wanted. They're looking for them. The egg thief, bro. They're looking for a wanted man who stole eggs for 40 grand. Hit a 40 grand lick with eggs. So shit's just gonna go up. They're just gonna jack prices up, and people are still gonna buy it too. It's the crazy part.
I am sure there are plenty of places that you can do that in the United States. But my problem comes in is when you make it sound like that's the way it's always been. Like people that are aged like 50, 45, or maybe a little bit older, they all had to move way out to the middle of nowhere with their families to afford a house. Not pretending like that affordable housing wasn't basically any place you wanted it as long as you were in the right area. Stop showing me these graphics of areas where nobody wants to live and there's no jobs, please.
And frankly, he's right. No boomer was moving out into the middle of fucking nowhere, bruh, to afford a home. They went wherever the fuck they wanted to. Hey, I think I'm gonna move to Florida. That's where all the old people went when they retired to Florida, because it was affordable. Now that shit's this shit is fucking Dubai, basically. You gotta be rich to live in Florida. You gotta make money to live here, bro. You gotta make at least 200K to be fine over here in Florida. I'm not talking about Pensacola. I'm talking about like Miami area, Broward, all that. I'm about the boonies and fucking Bradenton and shit. No, bro. I'm not talking about the middle of nowhere. That's what I'm saying. Like boomers went wherever the fuck they wanted to live. They moved to Florida because it was cheap. It was the retirement state, bro. And now this shit's inflated as hell. Modern day Dubai. You gotta have a Lambo to go to Miami. Like, it's crazy, bro. You go to fucking Texas, Dallas, Houston, inflated, I heard. These, not even in major cities. Like, I'm talking about 30 minutes out, inflated. So where are you supposed to go? Don't show me, don't point on the map and tell me live here in fucking Kentucky in the middle of nowhere. For what? What job opportunities are there, bro? Oh, I mean, I just live off the land, so I don't know. Yeah. Bro, it's tragic out here. So with that being said, what's left for us to do? Like, what solutions can we come up with, to make this financial burden on everyone easier? What can we do? What are solutions that we can implement so Gen Z isn't in this financial bind? What can we implement? What laws at a state and federal level so people will be able to afford a home?
So I came across this. It says, this is the max rent you should be paying based upon your salary. Now, just so you guys know for reference, the average American makes about $49,000, which means your rent should be about $1,041. But here's the thing. The average of a one-bedroom apartment in the United States right now is $1,700. That's damn near a 70% increase, okay? Now, one thing I am happy about is that the feds are suing certain rent companies for hiking up prices and gouging renters. That's a good thing. But ultimately, the rent is just too damn high. I know in California, we have a ballot measure that talks about rent control. And people are saying, you don't want to have rent control because builders will be too shy to build. Man, forget that. We need rent control because the rent is too damn high. And what I can clearly see is that a lot of major companies are taking advantage of people, hiking up the rent and trying to squeeze people. And that's just not cool. Everybody should be able to make a profit in the United States. But gouging your fellow countrymen ain't right. That's not cool. So I'm hoping that this bill in California passes and we can get some rental relief for people that need it in terms of capping what they can go up to after your lease is done. Because I think about my mom who just lost her husband of 46 years. If I and my brother wasn't there, my mom would be looking at this price and she can't afford that.
Bro, it's saying there $50K a year, you're supposed to be paying like $1,000. I really do wish that was the case. I really do. Because I would be able to live. I would be able to afford shit. Everywhere around in my area and other places I look at that are reasonably cheap, they're like $1,600 a month to $1,800 a month, right? And they want security deposit, they want the last, and they want to know how much you make. They want to know your credit score. And sometimes you don't even qualify for that because they don't think you're making enough. 3 times the amount. That's what they want. It's just insane, bro. So maybe rent control can be a solution to where they can, mitigate how much some of these landlords and some of these corporations could charge for rent. Because I feel like they could just get away with hiking up prices and stuff, more money in their pocket. You feel me? But honestly, bro, I don't know what the solutions are. I just like covering these topics because I think it helps, shed a little bit more light on the situation that a lot of Gen Zers are in and millennials. And a lot of people are in there as well. Maybe even some boomers, right? If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave your stuff down and comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. I think at this time I'm like at 1.7K subs. So I appreciate y'all for the support. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So peace.